Okay, for our first lesson, we're talking about the parts of the expression for a mathematical or algebraic expression. So our learning target for today is I can identify the parts of the expression and evaluate expressions for one or multiple variables. So when we are taking a look here at this algebraic expression, we have 6x plus 2. So we have a lot of vocabulary that is required for this unit. Kamari, turn around. We have a lot of vocabulary for this unit, so I strongly advise that you make some note cards or something to be able to study for your vocabulary. When we talk about a term, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight my terms in my orange here. A term is just a single number, or it might be a variable, or it might be a combination of numbers and variables using, multiplication or division. They're always going to be separated by addition and subtraction signs. So when you are looking at an expression, until you see a plus or a minus sign, you're just focusing on the single term. So for here, 6x is considered to be what I would call my first term in this expression. And then positive 2, notice I'm putting a box including the plus sign. That positive 2 is considered to be the second term of my expression. So we happen to have two terms in this expression here, 6x and then a positive 2. So I'm going to write that down in this 6x and a positive 2. Notice I am putting the positive sign because I do want to make sure that I'm indicating that it is a positive. If it said minus 2, then my second term would be a negative 2. Okay? For a coefficient, when we're talking about a coefficient, I'm going to highlight this in my green. We're talking about the number factor of a multiplication term with a variable. It is a number that's basically attached at the hip to a variable. No, I'm starting notes already. Okay, so positive 6 is going to be our coefficient. It is the number term that's being multiplied to the variable. So whenever you're looking at a term that has a variable in it, the number that is attached to it is called your coefficient. Think of the word co. When I say that we coexist, coexisting, or co-teaching. Okay, some of you might be in a class that has 2 teachers, right? That's called co-teaching. Okay, you have 2 teachers that teach together. A coefficient is a number and a variable that go together. Okay, so coefficient is going to be 6. Yes, dear. Huh? No. He's trying to be funny. It wasn't. It fell flat. All right. Our variables. When we're talking about a variable, turn around. Turn around. When we're talking about a variable is just the letter. So x here. This x is considered to be our variable term. It's an unknown value. We do not know what x equals. We just know it represents some value. So in this situation, our variable is x. And then we have our constant. Our constant is the number that is being added or subtracted in the expression. It is a number that stands all by itself. So the 2, the positive 2. I'm going to highlight the plus sign with it so that I know that that positive sign goes with it. It is attached. It's a part of it. Okay? So our positive 2 is going to be our constant. All right, so terms, remember terms are split up by plus and minus signs. Coefficients are the numbers that are attached physically to your variable. Variables are your letters. Constants are the numbers that are just by themselves. They're being added or subtracted in the problem. Okay, they are numbers by themselves. They are not attached to a variable. So when we are looking here, for problem number 1, we have 8x minus 4. How many terms do I have? I just have 2. Thank you, Brandon. We have 2 terms. We happen to have 2 terms. Who can raise their hand and tell me what's the first term? First term, Jacqueline? On number 1. 8x. Number 1, our first term is going to be 8x. Okay? What is our second term? What's our second term? Noah? Close. Minus 4 or negative 4, right? You have to write that minus sign with it to indicate that it belongs to the 4. Okay, it is a negative 4, a minus 4. This is where most kids make mistakes. They forget to put the negative sign with it. So be very careful about that. You want to make sure that you're attaching it with there. Please make sure you're taking your notes. Okay, coefficient. Who can tell me what number up here is going to be my coefficient? Rajay? Just the 8, right? Not 8x, right? 8x is a term. 8x is a term. 8 is our coefficient. 8 is going to be the coefficient. What's our variable? Patrick, what's our variable in this problem? X. Very good. X is our variable. Bless you. Bless you. Okay, and then our constant. What's our constant going to be, Brandon? Negative 4. Very good. Our constant is going to be negative 4. Yep, negative 4. Remember, it says minus 4. That minus sign belongs to the 4. So when we are looking at it independently, it acts like it's a negative. Okay, I want you guys to try problem number 2. You're going to identify all the terms, identify all the values that could be coefficients, all of the variables, and all of the constants. You're going to do this one on your own. Okay, who can tell me what's the first term in our expression? Our first term is going to be what, Coven? 3. Okay, what is our second term going to be? The second term, Rajay? Huh? Negative 2x. Okay, don't forget the negative sign, right? That minus sign, think of it, you're going to put up a wall. Okay, so the next term was negative 2x, so now I'm going to put up a wall here. What's my third term going to be? Caden, what's my third term? 9. Okay, so we have a positive 9. We're going to put up a wall there. Okay, what's my fourth term going to be? My fourth term, Coven? 7y, positive 7y, right? Positive 7y, so then put up my little wall. And then my last term, my fifth term. What's the only thing remaining, Noah? Negative 13, good. Okay, so we've got all of our terms here. Now it's time for the coefficients. Remember, coefficients, that's what's going to be the number that is attached to our variable. The number that gets attached to the variable. Okay, so Sophia, what's one of the coefficients? Not just 2. Not the x part. The negative part. You got to remember the negative. It's negative 2. Has to be a negative 2. What's another coefficient up here? Another coefficient, Giancarlos? A 7, right? The negative 2 and then the positive 7, those are our coefficients. Those are the values that are getting multiplied to our variables. And speaking of variables, what's our variables? Shamor, what's a variable up here? Okay, so not the numbers. Remember, variables are just the lever, x and y. So just x and y. Okay, just the x and the y. Now the constants. Constants are the numbers that are all by themselves. No letters attached to them. No letters attached whatsoever. So what's one of the constants, Addison? Okay, 9. That's one of the constants. Sure. What's another constant? I'm going to call on somebody that hasn't been. Paris, what's another constant? 3. Okay, 3 was our very first term, right? So we've got a 3 and a 9, and I think we've got one more. What's negative 13? Negative 13, okay? So we've got those values as our constants. So remember, coefficients are numbers that are attached to the variable, but we just want the number. We don't want the variable with it. Okay, variables are just the letters. We don't need the numbers with them. Constants are the numbers that have no letters attached to them whatsoever. Okay, and terms are always split up. Every time you see a plus or a minus sign, draw a wall. Okay, put a wall in front of it. All right. So now we're going to flip it on over to the back, and we're going to talk about evaluating. So that term, there's a lot of different terms for working problems out. They might say solve. They might say evaluate. Okay, they might say substitute. These are all the same things where you are taking a number. So remember I told you a variable is an unknown value. Well, here I'm giving you an expression and I'm telling you a value for your variable. I'm saying, hey, if our variable equals 4, then what would this be evaluated at? So if our variable was equal to 4, what would that make 2 times x plus 3? So what you're doing here is you're taking this value of 4 and you are substituting it. So if there's a substitute teacher, that means that there's somebody in place of your normal teacher, right? So when I say I'm substituting, I'm taking my value of x and I'm replacing it with the number 4 here. So I'm still writing everything else the same. I still have 2, I still have parentheses, I still have plus 3 and close parentheses. The only thing that's changing is this x is now going to become a 4. So now I've got 2 and then parentheses 4 plus 3. Okay, 2 and then parentheses 4 plus 3. Now the nice thing is you guys will have your calculators. You can physically type that in just as you see it. You don't have to worry about order of operations because these calculators will do it for you. You can type 2 and then parentheses and then 4 plus 3 and then close parentheses and hit enter and it's going to give you your solution, right? 14. We know that because you have to do 4 plus 3 first because parentheses always gets done first, which would be 7. And then 7 times the 2 would be 14. Okay, but you do not have to sit there and work the entire thing out. You can type it into your calculator and solve. Okay, we're going to do number 2 together again. So we've got 3 and then parentheses c minus d. So I'm replacing the c with the negative 5 and I'm replacing the value of d with a positive 8. So instead of 3 times c minus d, so I'm bringing everything down that's going to stay the same, I'm plugging in, instead of c, it's going to say negative 5. Instead of minus d, it's going to say minus 8. So again, you can type that into your calculator exactly as you see it, and then hit enter, and what do we get? Negative 39. Very good. Okay, I want you guys to do number 3 and 4 on your own. Do problems 3 and 4 on your own. Okay, so we have negative 5 times the quantity of 4x minus 2, close the quantities, and then plus 3y. So we're substituting our x as a negative 3, and we are substituting our y as a positive 2. Okay, so everything else is going to stay the same. So we have negative 5 times 4 times negative 3 minus the 2 plus 3 times that 2. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. When you work it out, though, again, if you type it exactly as you see it into your calculator, what are you going to get? Nihat? Oh, wait, no. Hold on. He just wants to make sure he's getting it. You let me know when you're ready, Kaylin. And then I can call on Nihat. No. No. No, Jaden.
What?
No.
What? Negative 44.
No, it's negative 64. It's negative 64.
Negative 2. I said negative 2.
Woo!
39. 12. 10.
I think. What'd you get, honey?
It's negative 49.8.
All right. Hey, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, in there, we're first going to type in negative 5, right? Type negative 5, parentheses. Guys, when you see that 4x, what operation is it? Multiplication. So that means I'm going to do 4 times. What was my x?
3.
Negative 3. So 4 times negative 3. Then we see minus 2. Then I can close my parentheses. Okay, then I've got plus. Then I've got 3. 3y. Again, what operation is that? Multiplication. So I got to put plus 3 times. What was my y? My y was 2. Okay, so I have all of it typed in. 76, guys.
Hey, I said that.
No.
No, I said
You said 67.
Miss, I literally said 676 when they were spelling and stuff.
Okay. All right. We've got 2x divided by 3, right? This is 2 times x divided by 3 plus x times y minus the w. So we've got a value for x, which is a positive 9, boys. We've got a positive, we've got a value for y, which is a negative 2. And we have a value for w. Not right now? Value for w is a positive 7. Shh. Okay, so when we're taking a look here and we're going to substitute the stuff in, instead of 2 times x, it's going to be 2 times 9. And we're still going to have divided by 3. Then we have plus, now we've got x times y. So we're going to have 9 times negative 2. And then we're going to have a minus w, so a minus 7. Okay, so when we type that into our calculators and work it out to solve, what did you guys get? What did you get, Neha?
17.
Not 17, Addison?
Negative 19.
Negative 19. Okay, negative 19. Again, take your time typing these in exactly as you see it. Okay, so if we type this in, I'm going to have a fraction bar because they have it set up as a fraction here. And on the top of my fraction, I'm going to put 2 times 19. The bottom of my fraction, I'm going to put a 3. And then I'm going to get out of my, 19. Or sorry, not 19, 2 times 9. Bring it. Whatever you're on that's making the noise, bring it. Okay, we're going to do plus 9 times negative 2. And then we're going to subtract a 7. When we put enter, it's going to be negative 19. Okay? Now, loaded into Google Classroom, you guys have 3 IXLs. 2 of them are you practicing the evaluation. One of the skills is just a single term evaluation. Another skill's got multiple variable evaluations. And then a third skill is you guys practicing identifying parts and terms and coefficients and constants like this. Okay, get logged in.